Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brianna and this is For a Positive Book. I make book and lifestyle related content, so if that's something that you are interested in, make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below. Today I have another book haul. We're doing an unhaul. A book unhaul. Not a haul. We're getting rid of books. So I was organizing shelves and like putting things away and like trying to maintain the chaos a little bit. And I found some books that I just don't need anymore. Let's be honest. Like I used to have this thing where I wanted to keep every book that I read like until the end of the year, and then I would do like this video project where I would show, you know, the books that like Books and Lala type, where she would do like all the books that I read are behind me and that kind of stuff. And I have the intention to do it every year, and I never do. So this year, I'm just going to be real with myself and realize that it's just not going to happen. I'm not going to do that. So we're just going to unhaul books that I didn't like that I read this year or in past years. If I didn't like them, they're taking up room on my shelves, and I have too many books that I actually did enjoy or that I still really want to read. It makes no sense to keep books that I either A, don't want to read, or B, read and didn't really love. So we're going to get rid of books. I don't have these organized by genre like I did in my last unhaul, which, by the way, remember, this is my second unhaul in 6 months. I did one. The video came out in April. I think I filmed that like end of January. So that tells you how long it took. So hopefully this one goes out faster. It better. It's a Veda video. So let's talk about books. I did a video on problematic authors that I'm no longer reading from, or authors that I'm just not vibing with, whatever the title was. Authors I'm breaking up with. It's up in the cards above. A lot of those books are in here, and then I have more. I have 2 big boxes here, and I haven't broken them out by genre like I did in my last unhaul, but I did break them up on like adult versus young adult. That was like my only categorization, and that is only because my nieces are getting the YA books. So yeah, let's just talk about some books. We'll just dive in. I'm going to start with the adult books because there's less of them. They're more YA because I don't have room on my shelves anymore. And my thought process is if someone else will love and enjoy them more than them sitting on the shelves in my basement, great. So anyway, yeah, let's start here. I talked about Mark Lawrence in that video. He's a little bit of a problematic author. I got this in a book box. It wasn't something that I like purchased. So I've never started this series. Oh well, I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of it. It'll go into my little free library because for some reason people in Utah like these books. So it'll go to a little free library. I'm actually going to be doing a hunt for a little free library. I'm pretty sure that video is coming out next week, so stay tuned for that. But I'm just going to go around. I found like 10 or 12 little free libraries like within my like maybe a 10-mile radius. So I'm going to go do some hunts, and I'm going to give back to my community and give away all of these books. Okay. The Women in Cabin 10, I already talked about. I'm going to actually be getting rid of all of Ruth Ware's books. Including the ones that I've already read. I have gotten rid of some of them already, but this is not all of the books that I have. I just I didn't want to go up. I didn't want to grab them all down from the basement if I'm not unhauling them until next week, so they're safe down in my basement right now, and that's where they're going to stay until I actually get ready to read them. But I am getting rid of all of my Ruth Wares. I think the other 2 that I have are The Lion Game and... No, I don't know that I have The Lion Game. I have In a Dark, Dark Wood, and I have The Death of Mrs. Westaway. Alright, I have This Is How It Always Is by Lori Frankel. I think I got this in a very early book outlet haul, and I don't even know what it is. But it's like literary fiction, and I don't really read that much. So this isn't really a book that I would be, like, I would gravitate towards. Nobody talks about it on BookTube. So, and it's like a really good copy, so it'll be great to go to like a little free library. I'm Unhauling You by Carolyn Kapnis. I read this last month before, one of those months, and it was probably like to date my most disappointing read of the year. Maybe not most. That's saying a lot because that means that I had high expectations of it, but I did not like it at all. It won't be continuing on with the series despite all of its love on BookTube. I hated this book so much. I talked about Tessa Bailey in that video as well. This is the only book I have that I own of hers physically, so I will be unhauling Fix Her Up. I had a couple of books that I had collected at like probably Goodwill or thrift stores because I had a couple of ideas to do some themed vlogs, and then I just didn't get to these books in that week that I was reading them, and so because of that, like there's no other reason why I would read this book. So it would end up sitting on a shelf for 6 months. So I'm just going to unhaul it. So, Do Not Ask by Elaine Williams Crockett. This was one of the books that I had picked up for the reading books about the White House, something like that. I don't remember what it's called. So this was one of those ones that I was thinking about reading. It's an indie published book, so I couldn't find an audiobook of it, and it was like 350 pages or something like that, and I just didn't have time for it. So it'll end up getting stuck on my shelf, and I won't read it. I actually have read this one. I don't see myself rereading that, and that's Young Jane Young by Gabrielle Zevin. This was like fine, but like I will never reread it, so I'm gonna unhaul it. It's an autographed edition. Someone will love it. Okay, and then another one that I just didn't get to, Sammy's House by Kristen Gore. This is about like a woman who is a lobbyist, I think, something like that. But yeah, it had something to do with Washington politics, so I had picked it up and didn't get to it. Last month, I DNF'd Final Girls by Riley Sager, and I don't foresee myself trying to pick it up again, so I'm gonna unhaul it. It's taking up room on my shelf. Rebecca Searle is another author that I have had on, like, that authors I don't vibe with anymore. So I have the dinner list. I don't know if In 5 Years is in this box, but I'm also unhauling that. And then a couple of books that I've just had on my shelf for, like, years, and I don't know how they didn't make it into the original unhaul. I don't know. Opening Bell, The Knockoff. No idea what these books are. They're, like, women's fiction. And again, not going to read it. Hardcover, like huge hardcover books, they're taking up room on my shelf that I need. Another one of the like politics ones, Pride and Politics. I got this at our local thrift store. Come to find out, it's published by a LDS publishing house, which means it's like Christian fiction, but Mormon. And no. Okay, I think I may have actually unhauled this one in my last haul, or my last unhaul, and then somehow it made it back on my shelves. Don't know why. So it's definitely going to get unhauled this time. Made my worst books of 2020. Didn't love it. Sarah Gailey's probably not the author for me because I feel like what I didn't like in this book also has been like the case with other books as far as her writing style and her world building, and like how she like is very concise. So because of that, I probably won't like anything else from her. And then I did read The Residence as part of that White House books. Hated this book, and I don't need to keep it. This is a book that I read years and years and years ago. I think it was like early BookTube, 2018. I picked it up because it was a Reese's Book Club, and I was a baby booktuber, and I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. But now it's just taking up shelf on my like singular adult contemporary romance shelf that is rainbowed, and I need the room on there, so I'm not going to pick this up again. Someone else will enjoy it. This one hurts me quite a bit, not gonna lie. Talked about this in my problematic authors, and I'm going to unhaul all of the Never Night books, including my beautiful first edition that's signed somewhere. This one I might actually sell rather than give away, but yeah, these are gonna go. I don't need to support that. So, yeah. I also have his YA series in my YA box. So, okay, yeah, that sucks. And then the last one is just The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. First off, this cover is kind of ugly. Not gonna lie, I've seen better covers. And I don't know anything about this book, and I don't foresee myself picking it up in the near future, so. Okay, so those are my adult titles. The majority of these are YA, so let's just get into them. Okay, The One and Only Ivan by Catherine Applegate. I did read this last year. It was fine. It was 3.5 stars, something like that. It's cute, but my nieces will enjoy it more. Okay, I'm getting rid of all of the selection series. I had thought at one point about reading all of these, or rereading them. But they were taking up a, large majority of one of my shelves. One of my, shorter square shelves. And my nieces will love them way more. So, they're gonna go. I thought about rereading them at one point in time, but when it was announced that the movie was coming out, a whole bunch of people reread it, and they did a whole readathon and everything, and everyone was like, oh, these books are actually awful. And so I actually really enjoyed them, and I don't want to taint that, so I'm not going to reread them. If I ever, for some reason, decided I wanted to, the audiobooks are on Hoopla, and the audiobooks are actually really good, so I have that. We have Emergency Contact by Mary H.K. Choi. I have not read this one. Actually, I think this one was in my original Unhaul, too. I don't know why it's still here. Anyways, this, I haven't read this one, but I have read Permanent Record, and I hated it. Made my worst books of 2019, and a lot of people have the same feelings about this one as that they do to the other one in terms of what they liked about it, which were a lot of things that I didn't like about this. So I don't think that this is necessarily the author for me. However, I have heard some really good things about her newest book that just came out, so we'll see, or is coming out, can't remember, so maybe, but this one's just not for me. I've got American Royals by Catherine McGee. I read this one for the books about the White House, and this one is awful. It's basically just white people problems. It's Gossip Girl meets royalty, I guess, kind of. I'm not going to continue on in the series. I was so bored. I have A Million Junes by Emily Henry. I read this one 2019, I think, and it was fine, but I don't foresee myself rereading it, although the cover is beautiful. It's a pretty good condition book, so someone else will enjoy it. I also accidentally unhauled Beach Read. Didn't really mean to. I took a picture of a bunch of Book of the Month books that I had just on my shelf, and I was getting rid of 90% of them, but I didn't really look at the titles, and then I put them up on the Facebook group, and it sold. So I was like, well, okay. Pretty sure that one's on Hoopla, so I could get the audiobook if I want to. But this one's also going away. I'm getting rid of With the Fire and High by Elizabeth Acevedo. I did like Clap When You Land, but honestly, that's the only book that I love from her. I reread this one in March or April, whatever Vaultathon was. I reread this one, and it was, again, just fine. I gave it 3.5 stars. I'm not going to reread it. While the cover is gorgeous, it is not my favorite. I do prefer the one that's not Book of the Month, because the naked cover also has some design on it, whereas Book of the Month does not. So, not my favorite, but it's it's a good story, but I'm not going to reread it. A large majority of these books are just, I've read it, I'm not going to reread it again, and it's taking up room on my shelf. The other part is problematic authors, and the other part is they're YA books that are probably contemporary but hetero, and YA books, if they don't have some deep emotional story to them, they tend to be just fine. So they're 3.5 star reads, and I don't have time for that. So I have Tweet Cute by Emma Lord. This is a contemporary romance. It's super cute. I did an entire reading vlog on it, so I'll link it up there. And it was fine. I think I gave it 3.5 stars. So I'm not going to reread it. The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. I've This one has been in so many unhauls where I've been like, okay, I'm going to unhaul it. I'm going to keep it. Okay, I'm going to unhaul it. I'm going to keep it. And now I'm just, no. Just no. I'm done with it. I've heard such mixed reviews about it, and some people really like it, and then some people give it 2 stars, and I feel like that's probably where I will end up, so I'm done with it. My Plain Jane, I think I have My Lady Jane in this box somewhere, so we will see. This is, I'm not going to read these. I don't have any desire to read these. I've never reached for this book, and it's taking up room on my shelf. I don't love historical fiction when it's adult, so if you mix YA, angst, and historical fiction, it's probably going to be like my least favorite thing in the world. Problematic Queen, we don't need to say anything else. I read Sanctuary in March for the Avengers Initiative Reading Challenge and gave it 2 stars, and I had the second book, and because I gave it 2 stars, I have no desire to read the second book, so no. I read Hello Cruel Heart last month, and it was fine. I gave it 3 stars, but it wasn't anything like spectacular, and it doesn't need to take up room on my shelf. Okay, here's where I'm going to get canceled. And I'm going to get rid of all these because I had the grand, intentions of reading all of them after reading this. I have a dedicated reading vlog on this, and I liked it. I gave it 5 stars, but now that talks of the second one are coming out, I don't really want to read the second one. I don't know. I probably will. I don't think I'm going to unhaul this one quite yet. It is going to solely depend on what the second book looks like and what early reviews are, because I'm not going to buy it immediately, but we'll see how the second one, some of the reviews come out. And also, if they don't match, because here's the thing, I hate that these books don't actually match. Series should be the same color or a variation of the same color. That's just, they should, okay? Or at least flow. The Shadow Hunters, they're not all the same color, but when you put them on a shelf, they look good together. These are okay, my favorite color is red now. Okay, my favorite color is green now. Okay, my favorite color is blue now. And then this one is just the redheaded stepchild that doesn't match anybody. So, depending on what this one looks like, then we'll see. So I'm not going to unhaul this one right now. But I don't know when I will read it. But I am unhauling these, and I don't care. Okay, in my defense, I did read ACOTAR. Or started to, tried to, got over 50% of the way in, and was bored to tears. So I don't want to read the rest. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to everyone who wanted me to read these, but I'm not going to. I'm going to get rid of We Are Okay by Nina LaCour. This book is actually really good, but I haven't read it since 2018, and I probably won't reread it. It was fine for what it was. But it's it's an ugly cover. I don't love the cover. It doesn't match anything else. So I don't really want it sitting on my shelves. Then I have Rise of the Red Hand by Olivia Chada. I'm just getting rid of all of my Avengers group books. It's fine. There are some that I'm keeping. But this one I gave 2 stars, and I don't want to continue on in the series, so I'm not going to keep them. More J. Kristoff books, Lifelike and Deviate. This is actually a series that I did want to read, but hadn't got around to it yet, and then now that I'm just done reading his books, they're gonna get it unhauled. If you notice a big gap right there, that's because I'm going to unhaul Scythe, the trilogy here. And this, okay, here's the thing. I love these 2 books. Love them. Hated this book with every fiber of my being. Every fiber. And because of that, I won't reread these. Because it doesn't, Thunderhead rolls directly into the toll. And I hated this book so much that reading these 2 would just make me mad again. So, I'm gonna unhaul them. Alright, we've got 10 Blind Dates by Ashley Elston. This was fine. It was a 3-star read, but I have no desire to pick up anything else from Ashley Elston. And again, it was a YA. cis het romance. And they're fine. Those books are fine. I have Alex and Eliza and Love and War by Melissa de la Cruz. First off, I have read from Melissa de la Cruz before, and I haven't loved her books. I found these at a thrift store, so I didn't pay full price for them, but it's not something that I'm going to pick up. Again, historical fiction and YA angst. I don't need that. Three Dark Crowns by Kendar Blake. Isn't this series 4 or 5 books long? I am already trying to start series that are that long. I don't need another one. Don't Date Rosa Santos by Nina Moreno. Again, this is YA contemporary romance, and I don't... if I read this, if... You know how we have 5-star prediction videos? If I had a 3-star prediction video, this would be on it. And then The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, Problematic Queen. Probably not Problematic Queen, but she's on the problematic list, and I don't want to read her books. Okay, I have a couple of not completed series, and it's not because I'm not getting rid of the whole series. It's because I have puppies, or I had puppies, and they destroyed books in this series. So I am only actually giving away the ones that are not ruined, and then I'm throwing away the ones that are ruined, or have already thrown away the ones that are ruined. So the only one I have is Queen of Nothing by Holly Black. The Cruel Prince and Wicked King got ruined, so we only have this one. It's fine. It's a Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, but I'm not going to reread these books. I'm done with them. And then I have Caraval and Legendary by Stephanie Garber. Finale got ruined, unfortunately. So, I'm going to get rid of these. For those and for the next one that I'm going to talk about, they are not problematic or anything like that. It's just that I don't vibe with the writing style anymore. If I wanted to, the audiobooks, well, Holly Black's audiobooks are not on script, but these ones are. If I ever wanted to go back and read them, I could. But I don't foresee myself going back and trying. They're not books that I would want to go reread. There are a lot of books that I would reread, but those are definitely not on that list. Do I keep books that I maybe wouldn't reread again? Sure. And it's because I can use them for videos. I have, their aesthetics, so I can take Bookstagram pictures, whatever it is. But I just, my nieces will enjoy them more than I. I talked about this one in the problematic authors, or whatever I'm calling that series or that video. But I'm going to go ahead and get rid of Renegades. And this series here, this is one that my nieces actually really are interested in reading. So I'm really happy to be able to give them brand new. Well, this one is not brand new, but these ones look brand new. So, yeah, I'm excited to be able to give them those. Then I have The Wicked Deep by Shay Earnshaw. Wow, this book is aesthetically just gorgeous. It's not a book that I will ever reread, and not one that I will recommend on my channel. So there's no point in me keeping it. I tend to put books on my Instagram that I am either excited to read, so I haven't read them yet, I am reading, or I've read and recommended. I don't really want to put books on my Instagram that I'm not going to recommend. So, this one hurts because it's beautiful, but it's not one that I'm not gonna recommend this, so it's gonna go. And finally, another one that my nieces are going to love, and that's The Illuminae Files by J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. I've actually already given her the Aurora Rising set that I had, so this is just gonna continue that and go away. Again, ones that I loved these books, but they're not ever, you will never see one of those, this is the last time that his books will be on my channel or my Instagram, so there's no point in me keeping them and taking up quite a bit of room on the shelf. So say la vie, I guess. That's all I have. That's a lot of book. I feel like there's probably, if I had to guess, 50? Maybe? I don't know. My community little libraries will love this, My nieces will love this. I think I'm giving them a whole bunch of books. So I have some others that are not on this list that were in my previous Unhaul that just hadn't sold on Depop yet. So I was just like, I'm going to give them to you. I'm going to give them to them. And yeah, anyway, that's all I got for you today. I don't have any questions for you down below other than, you know, what's a book that you would like to yeet out of existence? I'm really not taking questions for any of these books. Like, I've made up my mind. I am getting rid of these books. Also, most of them will probably be gone by the time you even see this video. So there's that. So, you know, you can say hi to me. That's cool. But if you're not feeling chatty, I think there's an emoji where, like, the person's doing this. So put that emoji. I think that's an emoji. If not, you know, make up your own. And if you are new here and you have not yet subscribed, there's a little red button that you can do so down below the video, and all of the other links to my social media will be in the description box below if you would like to be my friend on any other platform. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.